Oh, brother. Belligerent Brown Boys back for a third episode. What up with that?
The big 3-0. We made
it. The big 3-0. Yeah, man. Belligerent Brown Boys, we're back. Sonny, Jag here. We got Champ Bayless. You know.
Champ Bayless bringing you those hot takes.
There we go. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us for episode 2. That one was really fun. And we didn't lose the video that time. So,
yeah, hey, you know what? I hope you guys enjoyed the video that we actually did capture one that time.
Yeah, so you could take a look at all our pretty faces while we're giving you all this junk talk that we're doing. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ink, who provided us with that second theme that you guys just heard. So shout out to my guy Ink. We'll have his socials in the description down below. Definitely go check him out. Support him. Local artist, man. Toronto hip hop. You know,
send them that love.
Yes, sir. And shout outs to Spade the Shadow. Works with Ink. I think he's got an album coming out soon.
Oh,
so
nice.
We'll keep an eye out for that. We'll definitely let you know when that's going to be around. So thank you, Ink, for that music. We appreciate it. Again, it's been a while. A lot has happened. Not just in sports, but pretty much the world's just kind of getting into chaos right now, and I think I like it. But one thing I want to talk about, I just remembered. I have a beef with some car decals.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So on the drive home today, instead of zoning out like I usually do, I was actually paying attention to different cars. And there's this one decal that people put on their cars that I can't stand. It's the one where
Wait. Let me guess here, because there's a lot of shit I don't like on cars. So let's say you don't like the... Okay, I personally don't like the baby on board stuff. Like, people, like, guys, like, please.
I don't mind that one because I get it why people put that on. But that's not the one that really bothers me.
Man, please be a sane human being and just drive safe.
Is it a decoration on a car, like something to make it stand out? Is it about the paint job?
No, not the paint job. So it's kind of along the lines of what Champ was saying. Mm-hmm. Like how there's like the baby on board.
Farmers protest?
No, not farmers protest.
Guns.
All right, I had to put that in there.
Huh?
Oh, the AK-47?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the AK-47. Yeah, that one really bothers me. I hate. Man, that AK-47 on the side of the car, that one's wild. Remember, I think it was a couple of years back, they had that, what was it? The Versace snake? Or the Gucci snake or whatever it was?
I still see that around.
Like, that one was going crazy.
That had its time, too.
Man, but the one that really bothers me is the one where people put the stickers of, like, their entire family.
Oh.
Whereas, like, the dad, the mom, how many kids, and if they have a pet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I've been seeing that recently. I guess that's the latest trend. I never saw that before.
I don't know, man, but why are you advertising that?
I don't know. I think that's part of just the culture that we are in now.
Hey, and if you got one on your car, fantastic, fine.
I think what he means to say is take it off.
Take
that off.
Yeah, man.
I don't see much of a problem with it. It's funny when you see, like 10, 20 people on it, like you're like, oh, this guy has a lot of kids.
What do you symbolize? Like, what is the message that you're giving out there?
See, I'm thinking at it from like there's a lot of weird people out there. And if you're advertising like, oh, I've got 3 kids, I've got like this dog, and you can just follow my car and see where I am and just check it out. Right?
Fair enough. I guess the counter argument, like, I guess if I was doing that, I would say, look, we already give up our information, what's
fair.
I thought it was more of
you can find all my information on Instagram or Facebook anyways.
That's true.
So,
I mean, if you're going to be out there advertising every moment of your life,
I just think that's,
I guess,
I was saying, that's part of the culture. In 2023, it's a big me culture. So look at my accolades, look what I've done, look what I'm doing, that whole, FOMO kind of culture that we live in now.
I thought it was more just like a fun thing. Like, how some people put like a transformer symbol or like, other things on it.
No, that's fine, right? Like I get that, but I don't know. The first time I saw it, I was just like, why would you want to? But then again, to his point, if you're putting it up on Facebook anyway, then what does it matter?
You know,
I guess I'm the idiot. I don't know. But yeah, but that AK-47 stuff.
Yeah, I think the AK-47 is actually worse. Like, we don't need your cars symbolizing AK-47s. That, like, come on.
The one with the AK-47 that really grinds my gears is the one where they take the AK-47 and they make a kunda out of it.
Oh yeah, that's probably the most common.
Yeah, and for those who don't know
where we're from,
and for those out there who are watching who don't know what a kunda is basically the symbol for Khalsa.
Yeah.
Right? I could be wrong on that too. Don't beat me up in the comments about it. Clearly,
let us know in the comments how wrong was Sonny.
It's gonna be so bad. Go to a gurdwara, bro. What's the matter with you? Jeez, but yeah, those decals, man. But that Versace snake, that thing was wild.
Hey, that must have been a wild drive in traffic.
When you're coming back,
good old Toronto, GTA rush hour.
When you're coming back from Brampton back into Toronto, that's all you're really seeing.
Yeah.
The ones where like the guys put the name of the car on the car.
Honestly, I don't even know what my opinion is on that. I love having opinions, but I guess each to their own. Like, I think what Jag said, you want to throw stuff on there.
I mean, it's your car. Do what you want with it. Yeah. But just some of this stuff just cracks me up.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Man. Also, let's just do this right now. So, a month ago, was it a month ago?
Yeah, card show was in April.
Yeah, so we went to the sports card expo, and that thing's a blast, man.
Yeah, you know what? It was my first time. Thanks for making me come out. I was pretty hesitant about it, but yeah, it was actually a blast. I was only there for a couple hours, but the place was packed. People from all over the place. It wasn't just local. You could tell a lot of people were from the States. Yeah. A lot of people flew in. So, and then you were telling me it's not even the biggest one that we have.
Yeah, like they do this thing twice a year. They're coming back in the fall. And I think over the last 3-4 years, sports cards has really blown up.
Yeah, I think COVID was kind of the beginning. We saw the TCG, Pokemon cards kind of exploding. I know Jake Paul had a big hand in that.
Yeah.
But sports cards have just kind of followed that trend.
Yeah. And just the amount of investment that people are putting into these things. And you can see it if you do it wisely. A lot of these cards retain that value.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a hobby that you can invest into. I think if you know what you're doing. And I think it's just one of those things too. We just, as if you're a collector of anything, it's kind of fun, it's a fun hobby to do.
Yeah. Like the Pokemon stuff was huge. I think, was it you that did the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff or?
No, that was him.
That was
you doing Yu-Gi-Oh. Come on. I know many of you guys had your Exodias, your old season 1 fresh open packs from the late 90s, early 2000s. Don't we wish we still had those in mint condition?
I can understand that, like, the fun of it, but I think now with all the grading and all, like, everything's just so expensive nowadays. I think as, like, for me, someone that just, it's fun opening a pack. It's fun just, looking at the cards, your favorite players and stuff. But now everything's just so, like, priced out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's still fun.
Like, you can't just do it for fun.
Yeah,
like,
I think it is pricing out the average collector for sure, especially, like kids growing up for their favorite players. Like, those cards are definitely getting priced out.
Yeah, like the companies, they've done this thing where you have the retail version of the set and then you have the hobby version of the set. Yeah. Where the hobby is the one that has, I guess, the better hits.
Yeah.
Right? So the ones that you're trying to really grab and...
A little shout out to Tag.
Yeah, so these guys are new on the scene. Usually it's dominated by PSA, Beckett.
Yeah, so we were at the card show and they had a pretty cool setup. it actually stands for Technical Authentication and Grading. So check them out. You know, we thought the setup they had was pretty cool. So, you know, we were like, hey, why don't we throw a few cards at it and see how they come out?
Yeah. So the crazy thing about these guys is
Honor's yours.
What they do is like once they scan the card into their system, they give points for every part of the card. So like whatever the discrepancy is, you can go online and it'll take you to that part of the card that's like messed up. So if they say there's like a little chip on the face of the card, you can zoom in on it. And, oh my God, look at the way they send them.
Yeah, you guys are gonna
nicely, eh?
Yeah,
each card's wrapped up nicely. It's like opening.
You guys are gonna be pretty surprised.
They're making a nice unboxing experience.
Yeah,
they come up pretty nice.
This is
from what we saw from the samples they had there. They look pretty nice. And
all right, so we don't know whose or whose because you sent in 3 and I sent in 4.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, so
I just sent in a few I had. I wasn't even kind of prepared for this card.
So you do those ones, and I'll do that. Here, we'll give you one too.
All right.
Who wants
to get into the action? I only have one, so you guys start.
All right, let's do this together.
All right, who's this one? Oh, this one's yours. This is your Urias autograph. You got a 9, my guy.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Rookie autograph, Prism card.
Yeah, they authenticate the autographs too. I mean, just everybody does, but these guys do it as well.
Yeah, quick note. My first question to them was, if everything's so digital, it's almost impossible to get a 10. But they were pretty reassuring that they said, you know, the grading system is pretty much the same across the board. So
my Anthony Edwards rookie card got a 9. That's kind of disappointing.
Oh, we got a LaMelo Ball here.
Is that a LaMelo 10?
Looks like a 10.
Hey.
Got a big hit.
There we go. LaMelo rookie 10. If this guy ever plays again.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
I mean, pointless if this guy's only going to play like 11 games a season.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back from his injury.
He'll be back. What was it, his ankle?
Yeah, we all know those injuries.
Oh,
what are we looking at?
The Evan Mobley rookie I sent in got a 6.
Can't wait to see that.
You know what? This is the first time we've used these guys, so I didn't want to send in like
we
big cards.
Yeah,
so
we
like,
didn't.
You know, we started off with a 9,
and
a 10.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you're gonna.
Is this a sign of the times for Mobley? This card is
a sign.
a 6.
Oh, I think I sent this one in.
What's that guy?
Alec Manoa.
Oh yeah,
rookie
that's
card.
Oh, that value's down big time.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Jays.
Flippin'
But
Manoa.
yeah, I got an 8.5. If you guys want to take a look at these, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think what I'll do
the
is
QR code up here.
Yeah, I'll
so
take a
you can
pic.
scan it and see your digital you can see the card's digital footprint online.
I think I'll toss these up on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So everybody can check them out. Yeah, but yeah, Manoa, man, we gotta talk about that guy. Jeez.
Yeah, something changed with him year to year. But I think that's part of baseball. Just on a side note, like guys have career years.
Yeah.
Guys have average years, you know.
But what this guy's going through right now is kind of alarming. Is it just me or did he get like bigger? Not in a good way.
I thought he put on some extra pounds.
RJ Barrett here, 8.5.
Oh, that's upsetting. I was really hoping I'd get like at least a 9.5 on this one.
Another 8.5. Young
that?
Guns.
Oh, the Kaprizov?
Kaprizov.
That's, you know what? That's probably the most valued card that we had sent in.
That is probably the most valued card we did send in.
So now, like the dork that I am, I'm probably going to go online later on tonight and see exactly what the problem was with all these.
Yeah, we got to check them out for sure.
Yeah. That Mobley is hilarious. A 6.
But yeah, guys, check them out. These, you know, the set is pretty good, pretty nice. You know, they're pretty quick turnaround. And I think it wasn't, how much was it for a card?
$20 a card for 20-day turnaround.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I know PSA and all those other ones, Beckett, are pretty pricey right now, and the turnaround's a few months. So
yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. So if you are looking to, you know, get some slabs of some of your favorite cards, you know, we're checking them out.
I know a nephew of mine shout outs to Jeevan. He started collecting, I'll say about like a year and a half ago, and he's got tons of stuff. And he asked me to go through it and help him get something upgraded.
Yeah.
He's got so many cards, man. I've only gone through like half of it. I'm sorry, man. I'll get to them eventually, and we'll get them up for him. But it's like, I like that he's into it though.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's like I growing up, I was collecting hockey cards before I can remember, and I think it's a great hobby for kids to get into.
Yeah, and like I said, like with the cards, if you don't get the return that you're looking for, at least you have something that you're happy with, though.
Yeah, that's the fun part, right? You look collecting kind of your favorite players, your favorite athletes. If it's a TCG, your favorite characters, or animations.
Then you got to kind of decide, right? Is it a business or are you doing it for fun? Like, you got to find that reason, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I think when you do like your personal collection, putting a card that you really like into a slab like that, you're doing it for yourself, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. The guys who are doing it as a business, they're pumping thousands and thousands into these boxes and just hoping to get that one hit.
But that's where, like, look, somebody who's just, 10-year-old could go to the store tomorrow, buy a hobby box. Just, he could save up for his Christmas and he can get a hit. You could get a, let's say, a rookie card that, let's say it was a LeBron rookie card, right? Like,
yeah,
it's, there's a big luck factor in this, right? So it's not, you can throw money at it, for sure, like most things, but, you can also get lucky where you can throw $10 and pull a card that's worth maybe $400 or $500.
But some of these prices are outrageous. Like if you look at McDavid's rookie year, what was that, 2016? 2015?
Yeah, I think it's been a while now.
So that year, McDavid's rookie year, to find his young gun, those boxes are going for like $900.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Just for the shot at maybe getting.
But again, guys, like
right?
that's let's say that's like Monday morning quarterback, right? Like we're looking back now at McDavid and who he is. But let's say this was back in 2015 and you're buying those boxes, you probably could have grabbed them for $90 to $100, right? Even let's say they were $200, right?
But that's the thing. When you have like generational stuff like that for any sport, like I'm sure the year LeBron had his rookie card, those boxes were probably going mad crazy.
Yeah. So what about the NBA cards this year? For the chance of the rookie cards?
Oh, the Wembanyama?
Yeah.
That one's good, buddy.
Maybe let's check out the prices. We'll do a comparison for you guys. We'll check out the boxes for the 2024 rookie lineup.
Yeah, so that would be, I think, spring next year. When those ones would be a thing. But people are going to go crazy for the Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts, man. Right. But yeah, the Jays. Like, the last week and a half, 2 weeks has been painful.
You know what? It's been painful. It's because I think I'm going to put it out there. The Jays offense is pretty overrated. The numbers look great at the end of the year. Look, we're going to get to the end of this year. We're going to look at Bichette. We're going to look at Guerrero. We're going to look at Chapman. We're going to look at some of these guys. They're going to be hitting around 300. They're going to have their home runs. They're going to have their RBIs. But clutch hitting and hitting with runners in scoring position should be much more valued than it really is. And I don't think those statistics are talked about much because that literally decides games.
We are top 2 in strikeouts, and we are the worst team with leaving runners on base.
I was just going to say, like, leaving these guys stranded on base, that's been such an issue.
Yeah. We're actually ranked 30th. As of a couple, I think it was 4.04, something like that, per game. Runners left on base.
So there you go, right? I think that's kind of the frustrating part with this team. The pitching's been phenomenal. Like, they've been good, they've been excellent, start to start. But I even think that mostly they've been going deep into games. Our bullpen's had its hiccups, but as a whole, I would say the pitching's held up, but we'd had opportunities to win multiple games that we've given up, and knowing that you're in a division with the best division in baseball, we're going up against Tampa, we're going up against Baltimore, Yankees, Boston. You can't lose those games early in the year. You can't give up games.
We've been getting swept.
Yeah.
Not
good.
It has not been a good look, especially, these guys are coming into their prime now, and they're going to be up for contracts, so we're going to have to make some decisions. But baseball's funny like that, right? You need bounces, guys year to year.
But what is it with the luck of this team? Like, since we had those runs in 2014, 2015, that we've always said they're missing that one thing. And that one thing for a while was pitching. And our pitching is probably decent. It might even be the best pitching in the division. But now, we have other issues. Right? There's never any... I'm never just comfortable with these guys.
Yeah.
Something's always up.
On the pitching aspect, I think Tampa Bay is the best pitching. Okay. Our number one guy, Manoah, we were just talking about him. He's been struggling, and I don't know if it's the rule change. Maybe he doesn't have enough time, but something has changed. Either in his mechanics, the way he throws, but he cannot get his pitches into the strike zone.
Yeah, his control is terrible.
Yeah, walking 8 guys or whatever it was against Baltimore is going to help you.
And his velocity's down too, right?
A little bit.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, I think overall, just touching back to the rule changes and how it may have affected him, overall in baseball, I think it's been pretty awesome. It seems like, I'd have to look this up, but from the games I've seen and,
it's watchable.
Not just it's watchable, but offense seems to be up.
Yeah, because now you're rushing.
As a general whole, right?
Yeah.
And I think the biggest change and removing the shift has really brought baseball fans back, because the game was becoming unwatchable. And me saying this as a diehard baseball fan, I love baseball. And I literally grew up watching what's literally 95% of the Jays game from year to year. And I couldn't watch it. And I was just in and out, tuning in here, tuning in there, a couple games a week. The shift was just making the game very boring.
Yeah, when you don't have any balls getting into the outfield, and it's always double play, double play, double play.
Yeah, so that rule change alone has kind of brought back a lot of fans, and I'm enjoying watching the game again.
I like the clock, because now you're not only speeding up the game, because dude, these rituals that these batters did in between pitches
and pitchers
got to the point where
you Yankees in Boston.
Yeah, it was absurdity. Can you imagine Nomar Garciaparra now?
Yeah,
his head would explode.
Yeah,
because he did that flipping.
Yeah, for you youngins out there, definitely check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
He'd go up there and he'd have his hand motions, fixing his gloves. It'd be like a minute, 2 minutes before he'd get in the batter's box sometimes.
After every pitch.
And the amount of times you can call, for time, and
yeah,
it's just been insane.
But yeah, the games are over what? 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours, 15 minutes. I think the average time is remember, games are going a Yankees game, a Boston game would go to 3+ 3:30, no problem.
Yeah.
If you look back at the last few years, so it's been a huge decrease. And I think that's helped, the watchability of the sport.
Yeah, they needed to do something, man. Because when you got to that 3 hour mark and you're only in the 6th inning, it's rough. We're talking about it watching it at home. Imagine being in a stadium for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I did that once and I could not stand it.
Yeah.
I needed to get out of there, man.
It's tough.
Those extra inning games would get real tough to watch. Okay, guys, we got to shift over to some of the big playoff matches that have quickly come and gone. We just got to the conference finals. And
before we get to that, since you guys are here and I didn't get a chance to properly talk to you guys about it, your thoughts on end of an era. The Dubas era is over.
Wow, how do we almost miss that?
Hold on. But did you guys see Shanahan's press conference?
I did.
Okay.
I know exactly where you're going to go.
The timeline of this entire thing and what he said, to me is fascinating.
I think it just, I'm gonna be straight up, it just shows more dysfunction with this franchise because like that could have just been kept behind closed doors, and whatever the situation was in negotiations, like you're kind of throwing each other under the bus at that point.
So wait,
right?
I must have missed something. So what happened?
Okay, so during Shanahan, you saw Dubas' press conference, right?
No, I missed that.
Okay, so he missed everything. All right, so Shanahan pretty much gave a timeline of like an entire year where they said to Dubas, look, we're not going to give you an extension now. We're going to wait. Mm-hmm. They said fine because he's like, it happened to me, whatever. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
So allegedly he said that he had gone to the board and he had been talking to Dubas' agent throughout the entire time, and there was like an understanding of what they wanted.
Yeah.
The board had approved it, right? And then he went back to Dubas with that offer, right? But then I think, what was it? Dubas then countered for more money?
Yeah. So
allegedly,
that's what was said.
That was like
he
one thing.
Asked for more money.
Yeah.
And like you could say kind of like the last hour.
Yeah. And I think Elliot Friedman, he had tweeted and said that he wanted like decision-making streamlined, where he doesn't have to jump through like 4 people to get a decision on something. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that could just mean I don't want to deal with Shanahan.
It could. I think Shanahan's a big factor in all of this. Like, I think he deserves a lot more blame than he really gets.
But yeah, but I think after that Dubas press conference though, where Dubas just basically came out and said, hey man, I don't even know if I want to like do this anymore or whatever. Right?
I don't know.
And then Shanahan was just like,
that.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he should have said that. That was kind of surprising. Like, there's nobody in the world that doesn't want this job, right? This is the hockey universe, the center of, the Toronto Maple Leafs, where everything goes through this town when it comes to hockey. And you're a celebrity like no other. And to have an opportunity to win a Stanley Cup for this franchise would be life-changing. And there's nobody that's going to say no to this job. So for him to say that, like, whatever happened behind closed doors, again, like, this just seems like another meltdown with this franchise that started with letting go Lou Lamoriello, which made absolute no sense because I guess what was the reason? They didn't want to give him autonomous power?
I think it was let's give this young guy a chance, because if that's going to be the movement, if you're going to be restructuring this team that way.
Look,
because he brought a lot of things to the Leafs, right? Like analytics.
Yeah.
Like he brought like what different, like what is it? The fitness stuff he changed up too.
Look, I think I've changed my tune on this a little bit over the past, I would say, year. Whatever you want to say about Dubas, he put a team on the ice that should have won. I don't think any of us can say that the team that he put together could not win because of the pieces he put there. Like, I think a lot of this is on the players. A lot of this is, part of it's on the coach. Like, I have a big problem with the coach. But a big part of that, them not winning and flaming out from year to year, is on the players.
Well, I don't think the coach might be there for too long either, because he was Dubas' guy, right? And every time a new GM comes in, what's the first thing they do?
Yeah, they're going to bring in their own guy, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was time. I think it's time to get... I didn't like the way we played, and the way we play is... It directly correlates with our coach. It's his play style. It's his,
Maybe that's what Dubas meant. Maybe that's what Dubas meant as, you're going through so many hoops and decisions. Maybe that this is what I think as a franchise, whatever idea that they have put together.
But when it comes to change, when it comes to the coaching aspect, this is for all, like, just everyone involved in the organization. You have to trust the coach and let him do what he wants with the players on the ice. And if there's anyone above, and I'll use Dallas, the Cowboys as an example. If you have a Jerry Jones coming down and telling you what he wants in a team, how they should play, then what's the point of having that coach there?
Yeah, like the micromanaging side of it.
Yeah.
But excuse me, wouldn't you have the trust in the GM to make these decisions though? Like if everything's got to go through all these channels, then what's even the point of the GM?
You would think so, but I think Jag makes a good point, with the comparison to Jerry Jones. I think there's a lot of meddling and there's a lot of decisions that are made as a group with the Leafs. And I think if it was more streamlined, we're just guessing here, right? We don't get to see behind the curtains, but from what it looks like is, there's a lot of hands in the pot that are trying to kind of do this together.
But isn't this the problem the Leafs had for like the longest time?
That's the funny part. Yeah, it seems like
right, and now like they're just back at it.
Yeah, back at square one. The same issues.
So how do you
this organization?
So how do you think this affects all these guys with their extensions coming up in the summer?
Last I heard was they were informed that they're not going anywhere.
Okay, but that means they're gonna. Matthews is gonna ask for $14 million.
You think so?
I think so. And all these guys have that no trade kicking in July too. So that's another problem.
Yeah.
For the new guy, whoever that new guy is going to be.
There's a lot of issues with this team. Not only are they at the cap, Matthews is coming up. They even if they're looking to move someone, teams know that they're desperate to make a change. So I don't really know what they're looking back to get. But I guess it'll be interesting. I guess it starts with management. See who the GM is. See if he change. If the coach is here next year.
You know whose name I heard this morning for the new GM?
Tree Living.
That, but also Bergevin.
Oh no way!
Yeah, Bergevin.
Honestly, I take Bergevin over Tree Living, personally.
Really?
You know what? I feel like we need a strict kind of a defensive first kind of coach. Kind of just see how that goes.
But then, do you have the players for it?
You may not.
No, Bergevin was the Habs GM. Remember the one that the one that traded Subban for
I'm
Wember?
thinking of the coach. I don't think there's any real, A+ candidates out there.
One other wild story I heard was apparently Stan Bowman's going to have a meeting with Bettman at the end of the season to see if he's going to be reinstated back into the league.
That'd be interesting.
But man,
that'd be very interesting.
That would be a bad look.
Yeah, I don't see this franchise doing that.
Yeah, after what they just went through, and Quenneville too apparently might be coming back. Man, who's gonna want to deal with that noise?
You said there's no A+ coaches out there. What coaches?
GMs, even GMs, right?
Okay, but what coaches are A+ that are out there right now?
My guy Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah, man, I'd take a chance on Brucey.
Bruce, there it is.
Yeah, let's bring on Bruce Boudreau. Let's start that campaign, guys.
I like Boudreau. You don't like Boudreau?
No, I'm just trying to think like.
What's a difference maker? Now that you put that idea out there, let's go for it, man. Let's do it.
Yo, the way Vancouver treated him sucked.
Yo, he deserves another shot, man. Like, Vancouver really, really messed up that situation, but
talk about clown franchises, man. The Canucks are an absolute disaster.
Yeah, their year was a disaster. The trades they've made, the decisions they've made.
When did it all start going wrong? After they blew that lead in the Stanley Cup Finals?
For Vancouver?
Yeah.
Man, probably.
When they trashed their city?
That was the last time they were relevant.
When they torched their city. That was against Boston, right?
That was the Bruins.
A big letdown.
Yeah, why is Boston like the one team that just destroys all Canadian teams?
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Brad Marchand, he leads the way.
But that Vancouver owner, what's his name? Aquilini, whatever his name is. Yeah. He needs to get rid of that team. Yeah. That guy is out of control, man.
Yeah. They need some big changes over there too.
Yeah. That whole Bo Horvat situation.
Yeah, they messed that up big time.
I'm never going to forget them for what they did to Boudreau, though.
Yeah, you know what? I I think it worked out the best for him. Like the way he was being treated there. I'm glad he got it. He's out. I think he'll get a job if he wants it.
Well, 100% he'll get a job.
So
he's living his best life, man. This guy was first row of Monday Night Raw the other day.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
No way.
And he had a segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah, he's a mark. He's like a super fan. I think, what was it? The draft last year or the year before? He was being interviewed on NHL Network, and they found out that he was like a big wrestling guy.
Wow.
And then they brought Kevin Owens to surprise him. And you just saw this guy just turn into a kid like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's great. Pujo's a man.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on one day just to pick his brain on this. I had no idea. He's definitely a personality, and I think the Leafs could use that.
Yeah, and he's got that mean streak in him too.
He does. Yeah, I think he'd handle the media great.
Yeah, but even like with players, like just keeping players in check.
Players in check for sure. Yeah.
But Vancouver, man, those guys out there just don't care. None of those guys care. Pettersson's got to get out of there if he wants to save his career.
Yeah, you think is he still on his entry level?
No, he got the extension.
He got the extension, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's still tied up. I don't know how he's gonna find his way out.
Force a trade. Be like, I hate it here.
Anyone can get out players these days.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have like NBA player powers, but the players do have some power, I guess.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see players utilize more of their power like they do in the NBA.
Okay, NBA too much.
Yeah, it's out of control.
NBA is way out of control. Like, you dictate which team you want to go to, which year you want to go to it. Like,
yeah, who you want to bring with you, who they need to bring. I mean, look what Kawhi did to the Clippers, man.
I think they're gonna change that. They're gonna change that with the new CBA for sure.
They can't. They just negotiated the new CBA. It's kicking in. They've done nothing.
Oh, nothing to
nothing. Even I thought that they would do something about this load management crap too, but the only thing they did with that was you have to play a minimum 65 games to be considered for like an award.
No, and to be playoff.
And eligible. A lot of people like
it's
playoff eligible too.
Yeah, you can't be part of the playoff roster.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's playoff eligibility.
If you don't play 65 games?
60 or 65, yeah.
60 or 65 minimum.
No, but what if you're hurt?
No, obviously that's
different. We're talking about load management. Missing games for... I'm sure there's...
But then you're missing games because you're hurt. Like, you have a sore ankle or something,
that's the problem, right? Like, these guys are always going to have the reason... And the team doctor's always going to say, hey, man...
I was actually thinking about this a little bit. I'm like... When does it become like, you know how you go to school and you get a fake doctor's note like, hey, I'm sick, I was sick, I didn't come in or whatever? Like, that's what teams are doing, right? Like, it's a sore ankle. That, like, does the league bring in their own doctors and be like, hey, like
an independent thing? Yeah.
That could be an answer.
I mean, if they can bring in arbitrators to negotiate contracts, they can bring in like a third party doctor and be like, give us a second opinion on this. Does this guy really have a sore thumb that he needs to sit for 3 nights?
Man, the Kawhi rules. The CBA literally changed because of Kawhi.
The entire dynamic of just playing a season changed because of this guy.
Yeah, because of this guy. Hey, we appreciate the chip though.
Yeah, thanks. Right there. But if I owned a franchise and my entire livelihood is based on the tickets that are being sold for that home game, and none of your superstars are playing and I just sold all these tickets.
Yeah.
Right? I'm pissed.
Yeah. But you know what? I think so things are gradually changing, and they change to a point where you don't get respect unless you're making it a deep playoff run, you're playing good, and you're winning a championship. And that's what guys are thinking. That's the whole premise of this.
Can we just put it out there?
Thing, right?
This Michael Jordan, LeBron James GOAT debate has killed the regular season because, Jag, you're right. There is a little to no emphasis on the regular season. Means nothing because careers and reputations are literally defined by the playoffs. And that is a national media narrative.
Just like our boy Jimmy Butler cares about the regular season.
There you go. Perfect example happening right now.
Yeah, scorched earth in the playoffs. He's not taking any prisoners. You want to know who's not winning a championship though? The Lakers. That was not good.
Yeah, Jag, you want to fill us in on what happened to your good old Lakers?
Yeah, what was it again?
It was a good old sweep.
That's a good old sweep. I don't even know why I'm doing this because I hopped on that Lakers bandwagon with you guys at the beginning of the playoffs too. But whatever, it's always fun to see them lose.
You know what? It wasn't a LeBron thing. It was just one of those. It was just a Laker hate in me that did not want to see them win. And look, I think it was still a successful season. They turned their season around. They made a deep run. It is what it is. I don't think it's a championship roster. I don't think it ever was.
Well, I mean, there was like basically two different teams playing that season. There was the pre-trade deadline team, and then there was the post-trade deadline team.
But this was a big missed opportunity.
Yeah. But when you run into that freight train Jokic, and what this guy,
3-time MVP, and you're seeing it on display now.
Go back to episode 1. I said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Jokic should have been MVP.
Should have been MVP, and now you're seeing it, and it's too bad because a lot of these awards are just narrative driven.
No, but then you get to the point where this is a regular season award. Like, we hear it all the time. It's a regular season award. And Embiid deserved it for the regular season. Now, you can go both ways, but when Joker wasn't playing, Denver was still an amazing team. And you can say the same thing about Philly, but the change in Philly was the impact and to get to, the standings, everything.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think,
right?
I think our bias
the
is
impact
the
that Embiid has, because that take away the playoffs, or actually no, let's talk about the playoffs. If you're gonna go with playoff performances, then Embiid shouldn't have been in it, and then Joker shouldn't have been in it either. Then you give it to Giannis. Because Giannis has been there, done it, and he's proven. And Joker has never proven himself in the playoffs until now.
I think.
Right? So if you're going with like pre-playoffs, you can say the same thing about Joker.
But,
like, it's easy to say now.
But playoff performance is always in the back of these guys who vote for these awards. It's always there. Because now, next year, right? Let's say Embiid and Jokic are back in the same position. It's those two guys who are up for MVP.
100%.
They're going to be voting. They're going to think, oh, Embiid, this guy in the playoffs, man, this guy disappeared. Jokic, he's sleepwalking into triple doubles every night.
I think it definitely helps your case.
Right?
I think, I'm not, I'm not torn that Joker didn't win it. Like, I think it was a really close race. And I think if Joker was going to win his third, I think the gap between the first best player and the second best player, needed to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, there should be no doubt.
But
it should have been a no-doubter.
It is a story thing too, right? Like, Nash has his 2 in a row, right? And now you're gonna give Joker 3 in a row. Is he that much better than all these other guys, all these Hall of Famers that have never won it 3 in a row?
Yes.
Right. So it is a narrative thing.
Yes.
It is a narrative thing.
Top 5 all time.
Eventually,
no chip.
So
sorry, go on.
Eventually, you're gonna get into that because we eventually have to talk about Joel Embiid never making out the second round. It has never been a big story, but now that he has an MVP, I think that's gonna be a narrative that sticks with him. Because no matter what he does in the regular season now, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, when are you gonna make it out of the second round? When are you gonna make it out?" His career is a failure now. Because first it was MVP. That first step was getting that MVP. He wanted that MVP for a couple of years. Now he got it. Now the only story that's going to stick with him is he's got to make it out of that second round.
I hear you.
Yeah, you're right. But it's just amazing like how sports psychology works.
Yeah.
Right? Like a guy who completely dominated the regular season and then when he was needed most, ghosted.
Yeah.
Just disappeared. Paranormal activity. Gone. Right?
2 games at the most important time in the game.
Yeah.
Game 6 and Game 7.
Like I still
it's
can't
hard
believe.
to make sense of those 2 performances, Game 6 and 7. Especially Game 6 when for 3/4 of the game you had the game in your hands.
And your best players playing good. and then he's on the court, 5 minutes left. It's a close game, and yeah, you give up. You miss it. You don't get the ball a couple of times. He's has his head down, going up the floor. Like
That's where you gotta have that Jimmy Butler mentality.
That guy's a dog, an
Guy's
absolute dog.
So speaking of the Heat, who's with me? I have a funny feeling this may go 7.
You know what, man? After yesterday, I had that thought.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, even yesterday, look, the Heat were up big in the third quarter, and I think it was a 9-point lead. So it's not like the Celtics dominated beginning to end, but hey, look, they started hitting their threes, and they're living and dying on their 3-point shot. So if they can get hot, this can easily go the distance.
The Celtics are too good to get bounced out like that.
I think so.
They definitely have more talent, but I don't know. They have not looked good at all, even during these playoffs. Like, you'll see 1 or 2 good games, and then you'll see 1 or 2 horrible games.
Yeah, because that game on Sunday, game 3, when Miami mollywopped them by like 30.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck was that?
That's the, Jekyll and Hyde with this team. Like, they are bound to lay an egg. So winning 4 straight is, almost impossible to even see.
Look, for Boston, it's not just, Tatum. Like, he's up and down. He's always going to be. He's going to get his points. He's going to do what he does. And then Brown hasn't been as efficient, and Brogdon has done nothing in this entire series.
Don't get me started on Brogdon.
6th man of the year.
I had a little parlay going yesterday just for 10 points. This guy dropped 2 points.
I had Tatum on the under for 28.5. And then I just looked at the app. I'm like, when did this guy get 33?
Yeah. They had some quiet points.
He's a streaky guy.
Yeah.
Like, he'll miss so many layups. Like, he reminds me of Westbrook, where he goes so fast, lays it up, misses it, but then at the end of the game, he's going to hit a couple of threes, get a couple of fouls, and he's at the 30 mark.
Yeah, he definitely eats at the free throw line late in games. So,
yeah. But again, back to your thing, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes 7.
Yeah, I'm not calling it. I'm not betting it. To be honest, I think if you look at the early lines, Boston's a 7-8 point favorite already. So I'm probably going to be leaning Heat next game anyways.
Back at home, right? They're back in Boston.
Yeah, they're back in Boston.
You know what? The momentum definitely, you felt it in that third quarter when they made that like 18-0 runner. Like, you feel like, okay, like they have something here. Now, if they carry that back at home, then I can see it going 7. If they put up a dominant performance. If it's another close one, then not so much. But
well, I hope we get another couple games, because I'm not waiting 3 weeks if they close out next game.
June.
It's 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, June 1st, hard start date for the finals.
June, yeah. So it's still like a week and a half away. So it'd be nice to get a couple extra games.
I selfishly want to see 7 games just because I want something on TV, but I don't mind Miami wrapping it up.
Yeah. Fair
Just,
enough. Yeah.
Just because, again, going back to like me just wanted to see rival fans like in pain.
if
like
you're Denver, do you think it's too much rest?
Yeah.
Like, at one point, is it like you just want to get back on the court?
I think that varies team to team, and history probably shows that, because I don't think there's a right answer. I think if you have guys hurt, you want the rest. But I think, Denver's pretty relatively healthy.
But they were hitting like just everything. Every player on that team is just, they were so hot. And it's like, if I'm playing like that, I want to get right back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm with you. I would not want a week and a half off, 2 weeks off. So it'd be interesting to see how they respond.
But I think like those extra days give guys like Murray a chance to kind of like recharge, recoup, right? Jokic definitely needs the rest, man.
No, but the big guys are going to be their big guys. Like, yeah, they could definitely use the rest, but where, like, I can see where Jag's going, where, your role players are playing so well. And for those guys, those guys can be a lot more streaky than the superstars. So, the last thing they want is rest.
Send them into the city for some pickup games. Do
And
something.
risk an injury.
Risk an injury. That's wild. Yeah. Oh man. What was it? The NHL, they just set the record with the first 4 games in the semifinals all went to overtime.
Yeah. And what was the first 4, right?
Yeah, so the first 2 games in both series went to
Into
overtime.
overtime.
And the first Florida Carolina was 4 overtimes?
Yep.
Oh God. This is where I always talk about the NHL being a very lucky bounce away. Like your team is always a lucky bounce away from getting to a Stanley Cup final, because the teams that get there always have winning records in overtime for the most part. And a lot of games in the NHL go to overtime, especially in the playoffs. So, the teams that get that bounce, that, can finish those games, you'll find them in the finals. And it's crazy to think the Vegas Golden Knights, an expansion team, is going to be in the Stanley Cup finals for the second time. In what? How many years have they been around?
Oh, dude, they went their first year.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about
Lost
that.
to Ovi and the Caps.
Wow. That's hilarious.
That's
insane.
Funny. Franchises have gone. Let's look at the Leafs, who can't get to a third round, and the Vegas Golden Knights are going to their second Stanley Cup final.
You want to know why the Leafs aren't going? Because my guy Bobrovsky back on the case.
The way he's playing, he's stealing every series. Like last game, he stole it. Game before, like he's just been stealing every series. It feels like destiny for Florida.
It feels like it, right? Because they just look like they're just having fun and just like, whatever.
Matthew Tkachuk is on another level right now. Really reminds me of how Nathan McKinnon was playing last year for the Avalanche. So I think yeah, they are riding high. They're clicking. They're getting great goaltending. It's gonna be a fun finals. I'm expecting Florida to finish off the Canes. If not tonight, I think the next game is right.
No, it's tonight.
It is tonight. No?
Yeah.
So if they don't finish them off tonight, I think they'll finish them off next game.
Barkov's back, so they got Barkov back.
Yeah. So I'm expecting a Vegas, Florida final, and it's gonna be interesting. 2 very different.
I have Vegas.
Very different teams.
Vegas winning the cup.
I have Vegas win the cup.
Yeah, I think I would. You know what? I'm not gonna bet against Florida.
I think
everything's clicking for Florida right now.
I think what's clicking for Florida right now is just their goaltender situation, and one bad game, one bad bounce, and then I don't think they're gonna win a game again.
You know what Bobrovsky's doing right now reminds me of when Jaguar went on that stupid run when Anaheim went to the
that
final.
was something else, yeah.
Dude,
He carried them on their back, game in, game out.
I heard the craziest stat from that year, that Jaguar year. The highest scoring guy on Anaheim that year in the playoffs was like 17 points.
And they had long series.
Yeah.
They were not short series.
But it was just like, okay, I'm just going to put up 40 saves. You guys just give me 1 goal.
I think that's one of the all-time greatest, at least a top 10 performance, I would say.
I mean, Conn Smythe on the losing team.
Yeah. That was an amazing performance.
That's what Bobrovsky's doing right now. Like he had 31 saves, 32 saves last game, and they only took 17 shots the other way, and they won 1-0. So
yeah, like
that's just how it goes.
That's why, like that, it's got that Anaheim vibe to him.
Yeah.
But Florida also has the type of team that they'll score when they're gonna score.
Yeah, I think they got some nice players up top in their top 6 that can definitely put the puck behind the net. So
and they got that goon Gudis too.
Yeah, they got toughness. They got a little bit of everything, and right now they're clicking in the playoffs. The number one thing you want is goaltending, and they've got that in spades.
Goaltending wins you cups, man.
And look at the other. Let's turn it around to Vegas. I think this is the first time where I think it happened maybe a couple other times. they've had 2 different goaltenders get 5-game winning streaks in the playoffs.
Huh?
Yeah, look that up, guys.
Oh, Fleury.
Did Fleury play for them?
Wasn't it that the first year when they went to the cup final?
No, so this year.
Oh, you're talking about this year?
This playoff run alone. They've had 2 goaltenders who've gone on a 5-game winning streak.
That's crazy.
Why are they playing 2?
The other guy, escaping my mind right now, who their starter was. He got hurt. He got hurt in the second round.
And this guy, is this a rookie that they have playing?
Yeah, they got a rookie playing.
Vegas, man. There's something about that team too. Like they caught like lightning in a bottle since they came into the league.
I think Eichel was a huge pickup, obviously.
Big time.
Yeah, that was a huge pickup, but they've been a good team. They've kept everything together since the expansion year. They didn't blow it up too much. They got to the finals that year. And they've been, I would say, a top 4 team in the West.
Dallas handed them that game yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw the beginning of it, but Vegas scored like $120 into the first period.
Yeah.
And then not even a minute later, like 40 seconds later, Jamie Benn just cross-checks Mark Stone's head off while he's on the ice.
I heard he got 2. That. Yeah, it was 2 games, right? He's gone the next 2
games. Oh, he
games.
got suspended for that?
Yeah, he got suspended today for 2 games.
He got the 5 in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so the NHL is actually suspending guys now for stuff like that.
Congratulations. It was 2 games.
And NHL, what a league. They don't. Who was the guy on the Leafs that got his head taken off? And there was nothing that came of it. Was it Bunting?
No, that was Bunting who got suspended 1 game, right? He got a 1 game, or was it 2? He also got a 2-game.
But there was somebody on the Leafs that got.
You're thinking of that hit. It was a clean hit, though.
No, but there was another one where
there's somebody
on the ice and he was just getting like cross-checked in the back of the head. Am I thinking of the wrong series?
Riley, was it? No.
I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe I got the series mixed up, but that's the problem with like the officiating in the NHL. It's like you have a rule book.
Yeah, the suspensions in the NHL have never made sense. You can go back throughout the decades.
Like the thing that I've always hated is, this is playoff hockey. No, but a penalty is still a penalty.
Yeah.
A call is still a call. Yeah. Right? Who cares if it's the playoffs? If a guy's got a stick coming to the back of his neck, right? This is playoff hockey.
This is where you devalue, like we were talking before, right? You devalue the regular season because, like, it's an age-old thing we've heard. This is playoff hockey is different than regular season hockey. Why is that? That means the teams. That's why it's such a parity-heavy league, because a lot of the teams that have a certain play style and that works in the regular season does not work in the playoffs, especially when, like you said, things are not called the same. What a penalty is in the regular season is not a penalty in the playoffs.
But like that needs to change, though.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
Because this old school mentality that playoff hockey is a completely different sport makes zero sense to me.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
I always thought of it as just, do you allow all the clutching and grabbing to go on? You allow guys to basically play on the edge and literally get away with murder half the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. All these dinosaurs that are gatekeeping this sport, they need to get out of the way and finally let this thing evolve.
Because if you watch the Edmonton series, there's probably holding on every time Draisaitl and McDavid were on the ice.
Not to mention guys trying to take Draisaitl's hand off, and nothing came of that.
Yeah, so like, there's a reason,
But you're gonna see inconsistency with reffing too, right? One series you might see more physical. One you might see penalty.
Yeah, but that's why we're saying you have to get that consistency.
But you see that in all sports too, right? You see that in basketball. Games changes. They're like, it's going to be more physical. But then it's like, one series it might be they're calling every little thing. One series you're watching and it's like they're letting guys just push each other around,
Like, I get that the call at the end of the day is on the ref, and not every ref is going to see it the same way. But it can't always be, it's the playoffs, we're going to give them a longer leash.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've already changed how you're going to be calling the game.
Yeah, for the fans and for the players.
Yeah.
Because they're used to getting certain calls. Now they're not getting it in the game. And then we're watching it and we're going to feel the same way, right?
Yeah, like you can't be screaming at the TV like this guy's eyeball is on the ice. Why was there no call?
Yep.
So
Right.
we thinking both series wrap up in 4?
Are they both 3-0?
Pretty sure they're both 3-0.
They were both 3-0, and I think that
Oh
was
yeah,
one of the first times
Vegas
that's
went up
happened
3-0 yesterday.
Yeah. So you guys think they're done in 4?
I'll give Dallas 1, but I think Florida ends it today.
Yeah.
I
think
Florida
so
ending
too.
it too, yeah.
Yeah. I think Dallas picks up 1 as well. I'm actually quite surprised Dallas is down 3-0. I think they're a well-constructed team. Kind of surprised that they are down 3-0, so I think they'll at least win 1.
Ottinger hasn't
Yeah,
really been that great.
Yeah, he has not played well. He's been a major weakness.
But now
for
with
them.
Jamie Benn gone too, right? Like,
Yeah, but Ben had like 4 points in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah, Ben's not who he used to be, right? He's
Like-
more of a leader now
Yeah.
than a goal scorer or a,
Like he's your
set up-
captain, I get it.
so you're missing your leader for
And
potentially
maybe
the
they'll
season
play.
ender.
Maybe the guys play up, right? Up a level.
Yeah.
If they're missing him, right? We see that happen all the time.
Robertson has a 6-point game.
Yeah, there
Why
you go.
not? Right? Let's get
Guess
that
we'll
rookie
see.
card value up.
You want to make our finals pick, or we want to save that to the next? We still got a bit of time for the NBA.
Let's see where both wrap
Yeah.
up, because
Because let's be honest, everything that we said so far on all these episodes has been completely wrong. So no matter what, even our belligerent predictions on Twitter, on Insta,
Yeah, they've been pretty bad.
it's been not a good run.
It's been.
Maybe that's
it's
why
been rough.
we don't give people.
If you think
betting
about it,
advice.
across the NBA and the NHL, it's almost been sweep.
I think it's been rough for
Right?
just
So
everyone out there.
yeah.
Like, who was going to expect Lakers to get swept?
Well, definitely not Vegas, because they did not see that coming. Because
Who
the
thought
Lakers
that
were favorites at
Miami
least
would be
2
up
of those
3-0?
games. Miami was the underdog until game 4, until last night, and they lost.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So I think everyone, even Vegas, like they don't know what's happening.
They
Right?
don't look at the first round
Yeah, it's been pretty wild.
with the Bruins.
Yeah, it's been a wild
Everyone's
playoffs.
locked to win this
Yeah.
cup. Like 6 games, get out of
At
here.
this rate, you know what? The Blue Jays have a chance.
Hey, get them
Wow,
that.
full circle. Let's bring it back to the Jays.
All you
With
need
the
to
way things, all
Pick it
sports are
up,
going.
boys.
just need to
pick
get
it
into
up.
that wild card, man.
So yeah.
Just squeak in there,
Yeah.
anything can happen.
Baltimore's got to start losing sometime, right?
You'd think they've also been building and losing for quite a few years. So
That's true. Didn't
their
they have
farm system is stacked right now.
You know what? 3 years ago, they were horrible. Last year, they made a big improvement, and this year, they even made a bigger improvement. So,
Yeah. But again, it's
I
a
don't
long
know.
season. Hopefully, the Jays will need some of these teams to
but
fall
who would
back.
expect Tampa Bay and Baltimore to be 1 and 2 in the division?
But Tampa
With
Bay's always
Yankees.
been that sneaky team that quietly just ends
No.
up at
I just
top
mean
of
at the
division.
same time, both
at
of
the
those
s-
at the
yeah.
same time.
You
Over
see
the
the- you
Yankees,
see the-
Boston, and the Jays.
Yeah, you see the big 3 at the bottom.
Boston, you kind of expected to be at the bottom, though, right?
You do, but to see all 3 of them at the same time,
It's wild.
It's
Baseball is
pretty
crazy.
wild.
You're on crack, MLB.
yeah.
It's nuts. As long as Boston and the Yankees can stay down there, I'm happy. I don't give it.
Yeah, let's
Like-
keep them down there.
Yeah, keep them down there, man. Get the Jays into that. What is it? They have 3 wild card spots now.
Yeah, is
Get
it 3? I know they got 2. They got 2. I think it's 2, maybe 3. But yeah, they got to get in the wild card. You can't have this core and not make the playoffs. Like, barring any injuries, there'll probably be some mid-season changes. Hopefully they, tweak the pitching if they need to, the bullpen. Maybe get a bat in there, an experienced bat. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Got a long way
Shapiro,
to go.
do something, man. You got to pay for that Rogers Center renovation that you did.
Which, by the way, are fantastic. So if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out.
Great. That Corona rooftop patio, fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's that other one called across from it with like all the PS5s and stuff? Whatever, that one's cool too.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked out Rogers Center yet,
Yeah. Definitely
it
check
out.
it out.
so good. Oh, I watched White Man Can't Jump this week. Did you guys
Is
catch
that
it?
a real movie?
Yeah,
No, I'm half kidding. Like, is it actually good?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Harlow is hilarious.
All right, I'll check it out. I was not gonna check it out until you brought it up.
Yeah.
But
Did you watch the original one?
no, I haven't.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the original one?
I think you can't beat the original one.
No, you can't, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? There's just something about Woody Harrelson and Snipes' chemistry.
Yeah,
But-
that chemistry, you can't beat that.
But what Harlow and... I'm sorry, man. I don't know what that actor's name is. He looks like Antonio Brown. But they had a really good thing going on in the movie,
Yeah.
too.
I'll check it out.
It's funny.
I heard John Wick 4 just came out on Blu-ray, so I gotta check that out.
Ja Wick Chapter 2?
Chapter 4.
No, we're talking about Ja Morant.
Oh, John Moran.
Flippin' Ja Wick.
Did you guys see his Insta?
No.
He
Nope.
posted pictures of his family, like with hearts, love, this, that, and then his last caption was bye.
Instagram and social media detox, it looks like.
Wow.
I don't know. He's going through
Hey,
something.
yeah.
Nike has paused his shoes.
Or maybe Adam Silver told him to go learn Chinese.
Nah, guys, he's gonna disappear for 4 months. He's gonna quote unquote rehab, and he's gonna come back next year with what? They didn't even suspend him yet, have they?
I think, but that's going to come down, though.
No, it'll definitely come
Yeah.
down, but all these changes, that are happening are probably gonna.
Well, what do you
help
suspend him for?
So, did you guys listen to Shaq and Chuck?
Yes, like the clause.
Like the
in
clauses
your,
in your contracts? Like, that's what they can get him on, because you're working for a private corporation
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you have these morality clauses in your contract.
Yeah.
Where, like, let's say for your company, you put up on your Instagram, you run around like AK-47s and stuff, and your boss saw, like, hey, Jag, man, you gotta like chill.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing here. When you,
Yeah.
No, I definitely get that, but see, that's where it comes off like weird, because like you're watching all these guys, like you see a guy like JJ Redick and all these other former sports pros, and the only people that brought that up that I saw was that panel, the TNT panel, with Shaq, Barkley.
well, JJ got torched for what he said about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So that's what I don't understand. I'm just like, wouldn't he know about this? Right? Or maybe he was just so off into his own little,
No, but I think
it's not a crime thing because people are so passionate about
I
that,
think
right?
I think he wanted to say that because that's what was becoming more dominant of the story. Like, there was no
Yes.
crime committed.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything wrong, right? It just looks bad
Optics-
for the NBA.
optics matter.
Yeah, optics matter, and that's where the suspension will come in, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's bigger. It's a big story besides that. Obviously he needs to take a look at the people he's hanging around with. And
But do you
obviously-
think it's the people that he's hanging around with, or maybe he's the problem? Because his buddy tried to save him.
I think he's the problem. I think there's something
Me too.
that
Yeah.
is mentally. Eventually, you want to do something.
Yeah,
It's
fair enough.
his decision. It's
Yeah.
not like the people around you are controlling you and saying, "Hey, do this, do that," right?
Yeah.
And
Like,
so-
how many times, like, why is your first reaction when your buddy's on live is to pull out a piece?
The minute a camera goes on him and he knows millions are watching, or people are watching, he needs to pull it out.
Yeah. And
Like,
man,
hey, like, this is cool. This is who I am, right? Like, he's trying to
Yeah, I think you guys are right. It's obviously something that he's dealing with, and there's a reason he's doing that.
But
he's giving me mad Aaron Hernandez vibes.
But the thing that I don't
Yeah.
like is everyone says, "Oh, he's just a kid." This, that. When you're 23, you're not a kid.
You're not a kid. You're
Yeah,
not a kid.
eventually that
right?
stops,
Like,
right? How many strikes you get before?
No, but I do not want to hear that. Like when these guys come into the league, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's still a kid." This, that. Like, for these kind of things, it's like if you're doing something really stupid, Like, you don't say, oh, he's just a kid. You call it, okay, no, he has to change something.
And you've got $200 million coming your way. You don't care?
It's
Your shoes just came out.
shoe just came
He's gonna
out.
have to be careful. He's like, there's a chance. Like, it's not outlandish to say. Let's say he got a strike 3. Like, he could be out of the league.
Yeah.
For a year, 2 years. Like, you never know.
What
the
did
path he's walking.
Arena's got 50 games, right?
And
for
that was
like
bringing
He was pressured into that, yeah.
Yeah, but that was precedent.
Yeah.
So,
But he brought a gun into the locker room. Come on.
and he pulled
Fair
it
enough.
out on
Yeah.
somebody too.
So-
This is probably going to be till Christmas. Like, he'll probably get suspended till Christmas, miss half the year.
But that's also like another point that Shaq was making, and Chuck, that now your actions are not just affecting you, but they're affecting everybody else on your team and their livelihood.
Yeah.
Because now if you're suspended for 50 games, that's 50 games that they don't have you. Right? And that could make or break their season. What if they're out of the playoffs?
My take on that is they're better off without him. Right?
Take.
They
No, that's not
played
a
great.
hot
They
take.
played
Yeah,
great without him,
Yeah,
right?
they've had a great record the last 2 years without him.
Obviously, you want him there, but I don't think as a team thing. But the things that he should lose if this behavior continues is those sponsorships and whatnot, right? I think that's where it probably starts. And then like a guy like Kyrie, now you look at the Kyrie thing, right? And you're just like, how unfair was it for Kyrie, right? To go through what he went through.
Kyrie shared a link and got slapped to the moon.
Yeah, he got destroyed for sharing a link.
This guy's pulling out gats.
I'm glad you brought that up because that has not been talked about at all. And that's a great comparison to 2 stories this year and how vastly different 2 people
That's the thing, right? Like,
treated.
I think you should just say he's stupid. Like, Morant did something stupid. It wasn't smart. Like, since it's the second time and now Nike, paused his shoes and all that stuff, I'm happy. I think that should happen. The suspension thing, I don't think it needs to be some super lengthy ones, but then eventually you got to have that talk with him and be like, if it is like a morality clause and all this stuff, you have to make that clear, because the first time they didn't make that clear, right? The second time you make it clear, and then the third time is when I don't care, do whatever you want.
I don't know, man. The way Adam Silver was talking about it, it sounded like this guy's gonna bring the wrath of Thor down onto this guy's head.
Honestly, I think that's the best for him. I think that's what he needs.
Honestly, might be.
I think you guys are right. This is his character. He's brought this upon himself.
I think what that was I think he was mad at himself as well, because they chose to be super light. They're like, okay, no, like, it's a couple of games, do this, do that. Like, everything around that just seems so fake from the league and from Morant. Like, oh, I'm healed, I did a week,
It was so stupid when he came out with that statement about the rehab or whatever he went to.
So that's why, the optics around that was horrible already, and now you've come out and said, like, oh, like, he got nothing out of that.
Yo, dude,
right?
You saw his statement, right? Jaws?
The Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. My God, people.
You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this up.
No, but
people legitimately recreated his statement in Chat GPT.
But that's why.
So do you guys actually think he used Chat GPT?
100% this guy used,
right?
not him. Somebody in his camp probably did it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But that just comes with,
like, that shows the immaturity, right? Like, there's a lot
That's
of
how much he
immaturity
cares
with this character.
But you know how you said the suspension might, click something in his head? What if it doesn't? What if he's just like, I don't care.
telling you right
50
now,
games, whatever.
But then what are you guys trying to say? So let's say it doesn't. Then what's the alternative?
He plays himself out of the league.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So wouldn't you rather have the suspension, go hard, and if that doesn't work, yeah, okay, this guy's.
I don't think you go hard.
I think
no. Actually, I don't care about that. Really, I don't care if it's 100 games, 0 games, whatever. Right? He has to if the league really wants to help, they get like former players or even former players, whoever cares. Like, you know, Shaq says, "Oh, I care," this, that, right? You try to reach out. If he does not want to be helped, you'll know right away.
So Jag's basically saying he wants a Hall of Fame intervention.
I think no, because you see these Hall of Famers come on podcasts, come on TV, and say, "Hey, like, I wish I could talk to him, do this, that." You can talk to him, right? You can get a hold of his people, right? And he can do the same thing. That's why I say it's just stupid, right? What he's doing is stupid, and that's why I don't really care what hammer they lay down, right? Whether it's 50 games or whatever. But I say this is the one time you actually, because the first time I don't think it counts because the league didn't do right by it and he didn't do right by it. The second time, you make it clear as the league, as the players, whoever cares, and this is his chance to make it right, right? Stop doing it.
I think in a way you're also putting onus on, like, you know, everybody who's coming out and saying how much they care. You know, they have the opportunity to reach out, and it's also
no, but that's
onus
why
on them.
it's like, this is the one opportunity. Whatever happens after this, if it happens again, this was the opportunity to change, right? And then after this is when you can be like, okay, you're gone for a year. Okay, we don't want you in this league anymore, or just, you know, all sponsorships, everything can just go.
That makes sense.
Right?
It's like, hey, man, like the first time we had a talk, we didn't say anything. Now it's like a little serious. Buddy, chill out. If it happens again, I can't help you.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right, man. Episode 3. Ja Wick, Chapter 2. That's a good way to end it. Oh, man. I can't believe you did it again. I can't get over it. When I saw that video. What are you doing, man? And Buddy tried to save him.
He really did try
Buddy
to save
tried
him.
to save
he
him,
tried
man.
to hide the camera there, but like he was probably surprised as hell as well. Like he didn't see that coming, but
yeah, the way he just threw his phone back into his chest, this guy was like, come on again. I don't know. Ja, get your shit together, man.
Yeah, get your shit together. We want to see you in the league. We want to see you dunking over people.
Yeah. Let's do that. All right, episode 3. That was a good one. Watch alongs. Keep an eye on socials. We should have something for you soon.
NBA Finals. Let's do one. We'll definitely do an NBA Finals game for sure.
Yeah, we'll have something set up for the finals. Keep checking us out on socials for all the updates. You know, check out our belligerent predictions every night.
And I'm going to tease just a little for those gamblers out there. I'll be putting up some of my picks starting in June. So there's not a lot going on. We got NBA. We got some UFC pay-per-views coming up. But yeah, take a close look. I'll be making some picks for you.
Yeah. Don't take any of the advice to heart. If you don't win anything, it's not our problem.
Yeah. Let's not bet anything over $1. we play low.
We
stakes.
play for fun.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 3, Belligerent Brown Boys. Thank you so much for listening. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Peace.